All right, everybody. Sorry about that. I cannot keep track of time for some reason. On Thursday, when I'm supposed to do these lives, me and time just don't work out too good. So I want to start out. Hope everybody's doing good. Weather's pretty good. Let me move my computer back and realize how big I look on the screen. So there's a lot going on today, as we know. And hey, I want to get right into it, right? For those that was waiting, I apologize for being 8 minutes late, give or take or two. And if you notice the title of the the title for the live, it says, Trump three card Monte. Of course, that's what we got, the old three card Monte game. Um, with President Trump, you see the stimulus stating $1,700 and some change for stimulus, right? And I seen that article and I said, let me just post a picture of this just to be funny to see, um, just to see if it'd grab any attention. And I thought about it and I said, yeah, you know what? This is crazy how you can see this post and you would think that, okay, President Trump, Don DeCon, whatever you want to call him, you would think that there is stimulus money that he's giving us, right? And in all fairness, there is stimulus money, but that's for the Alaskan citizens. They get it every year based on the oil production there. So it had nothing to do with the president, you know. And I thought it was kind of interesting how they was pushing that out there as if he's giving us this stimulus and not going to happen, right? At least not anytime this year, from my understanding. But things can change. We don't know, right? So I thought that was a great little thing to lead out with, just to throw that out there, just to see um, if anybody grabbed it, right? If you seen the article, then you would know where that picture came from, without a shadow of a doubt. So we had that going on. So I said, let me play the game with that, right? And then I said, you know what? Let's see, what are we talking about today? Because there's a lot going on, right? Um, I was wishing I could play live the video of the ICE agents arresting people as we speak right now in New York, and that's a whole nother thing within itself. But apparently, I can't. But I'm going to figure that out. Those are some of the things I want to start doing is playing things as they're doing live. Uh, and talk about them at the same time. So once I figure it out, and I think I got to go through the OBS system and upload it anyway on my computer. So once we figure all that out, then hey, we're gonna get the rocket and rolling. So we got that. We got ICE agents. We all heard about Elon Musk. He's now leaving, or he has left um, with a black eye. So apparently they in there scrapping at the White House, and I think it's the guy Peter Thiel. I think that's who it is. So they got into it with him, and they say he actually, clocked them pretty good. So wasn't no crap about his son did this and did that, right? So that's one of the things topics is going on, and you know there's a video out. Um, I don't think I uploaded it. I didn't. There's a video out with Margie Taylor Greene stating now that she made a mistake voting for this big, beautiful bill. Out of all things, she says she made a mistake because the last two pages she didn't read. And by her not reading these last two pages, guess what? It's almost like, you know what? It is really, as they say, the nail in the coffin, right? Because it took ability from the states to regulate AI, and they can't do it within 10 years, according to her. So all this big talk, if we remember when Obama was in office, it seems like it's been 50 years. Everybody kept saying, read the bill, read the bill, read the bill. So now we got our own, I didn't say I or our, we have a representative from the state of Georgia, let's say it that way, who basically cheered this bill on, but didn't read the bill and now realize, oh man, this I shouldn't have signed it. This is wrong. Now she admitted it that hey, I didn't do it. I didn't read it all the way. I was wrong. But this is where we're at within our government. People are just signing these bills. And, first of all, these bills don't need to be 1,000 pages. You can make stuff a whole lot simpler than 1,000-page bill. That's the dumbest stuff I've ever. I don't get it, and I understand there's a lot going on, but we don't need 1,000-page bill. So, but she admitted it that hey, I didn't read it, and it was the last 2 pages that they snuck it in that she didn't read. You know, so thanks to her, it passed the House, and now she knows this bill is going to screw people. She already know it, but she had to come out and kind of show faith because I don't think I think I read an article where she may not be running um, this year or next year in her House seat, so she can just start doing what she want to do now at this point if she's not running. Same thing with Tony Tuberville. You know, if you guys haven't watched what's really going on in government, and I'm not talking about um, a lot of the idiotic stuff that goes on, right? But I'm talking about the meat and potatoes. You got Tony Tuberville, representing from Alabama, and now he is trying to or thinking about pick your poison, just using his words, um, running for the governor of Alabama. And guess what he's and y'all know how I feel about Alabama. And guess what he says? Oh, with this bill, it's gonna hurt Alabamians. So what? Let them get hurt. You see? See, now they realize, wait a minute, if I gotta go into a different position in politics, I gotta act like I'm doing something. And this is the thing I always say with these conservatives, or Republican, what do you want to call them? I always say this about them. They do all this behind the scenes stuff, this old dirty shit behind the scene. But then when they get in front of the camera, they want to act like they care. And see, what it proves is he knows his state needs that government money. Because he said it in the article, the state cannot absorb. You can look that word up if you want to. The state cannot absorb that amount of money. It will need help from the federal government. You see how these welfare recipient states are? See, now they starting to they really realize now that damn, they cutting the water faucet off. Now what are we gonna do? I can tell you what you're gonna do. Do what you've been doing. Being poor, uneducated. That's what you've been doing. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Grab your Bible. They always talk about, oh, my faith in Jesus Christ. You ain't got no more faith in Jesus Christ than I do in Santa Claus. Let's just be honest. So grab your Bible, your guns. What do you say? God and guns. That's all they need. Well, you better call them because them cuts is coming. No more of this blue money come down there to help y'all poor asses. So I don't know what else to tell you on that one. But it just shows the hypocrisy in these people that represent these taker states, right? These red states, how they would always want to, we got to cut this and people, we don't need people just dependent on the government. And here it is, his whole state dependent on the government. He knows it. That's what's wrong with the American as a country right there. That's what's wrong with us. We're too stupid to really look at what's really going on. That whole notion, I'd rather cut my nose, bite my face. I mean, we do that all the time in this country. So, I mean, we got those things going on. We've got the incident in Colorado. And before I say this, if some of y'all in the chat, this may not be your train of thought. This is Theo's opinion. And we know that people can often be, as they say, accused just from affiliation, right? So just kind of let y'all know, I'm going to say something that it may not be popular to everybody, and it may say, some say, you know what, I'm done. I ain't dealing with this guy no more. I'm done. And they might not even say guy. Might even drop the N word on me. But let me tell you something. We just had um, this whole thing in Colorado with this guy and throwing cocktail bombs and all this stuff, right? And of course, blaming it, going after Israel, as he said. People there now they're calling this an attack on Zionists. And let's not fall for this fake play they're playing again. Because first it was the two young ones in D.C. that apparently the guy took their life, right? And it's amazing that whenever there's what they call a terrorist attack over here, right, against another country that we're supposed to be cool with, they can always arrest the guy. And the guy could just say all kinds of outlandish shit while he's being arrested. You're like, wait a minute, what? Hold up. No, put him to the ground, no chokehold, none of this, right? So it shows you all these false flags. So what are they doing? They're making a false flag right now because they're trying to get everybody to say, hold up, we still support Israel. See, that's what this playbook they're doing right now. This thing with DC, this thing in Colorado, they're getting people to say that. Because you got to ask yourself, I will say this all day. People can be whatever religion they want to be. That's on them. I ain't got no problem with that. But I'd be damned if somebody who's not from this country gonna tell me because that I can't speak on that country because that makes me a Zionist, anti-Semite. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? So let me get this straight. If I want to talk about Muslims, it's not a problem, and all the bad things they do. If I want to talk about Buddhism and all the bad things they do, not a problem. Hinduism, not a problem. Christianity, Catholicism. Hold on, y'all. We got a little call coming in. And if you mean to tell me I can talk all the crap I want about these other religions, but if I go after the Jewish religion, I'm anti-Semite. Shit. Well, I guess I'll be anti-Semite then, because I don't know about y'all, but one thing I do know, I always say, you got to have some common sense. Trust in your eyes. And I'm getting older and my eyesight ain't what it used to be. But, when I watch people who are sitting there and aid is being dropped off to people and they going to get the food and aid and they just open fire and killing these people. And 90% of people in our government aren't saying a damn thing other than supporting this kind of what's the word I want to use? Just use a simple word. Supporting this kind of evil crap is what they're doing, right? So if you want to know where your tax dollars are going, that's where they're going, right there. Literally, you can see the video. They killed over 150 people trying to get food. Literally, over 150 people got killed trying to get food. And you're going to tell me, as a black man living in this country, I can't say nothing about that country where they're wrong, where their people are wrong? Because these are the same people who would tell you how bad they had it under Hitler. Oh, man. You know what's crazy? Why don't the people in Israel ever attack the Germans? The Germans were the ones who supposed to have done this to you. Why didn't you attack them? Let's make it make sense. See, Israel only go after people who they know can't fight back. And if we stop giving them any kind of military aid, money, guess what? They ain't fucking with nobody. Who they gonna fuck with then? Nobody. You know. So yeah, that was on my mind today. I thought this kind of interesting how you're gonna start seeing this word Zionist, and if you say anything about it, you're an anti-Semite, this, that, and the third, right? And I always wonder how stupid some of these Christian people that follow this nonsense, how stupid they gotta be, right? You mean to tell me somebody could just tell you, well, hey, I took up the faith, the Jewish faith. Great. That's going to bring you into salvation. Theo was all for it. But now we're being told ever since, and this is nothing that just started, but ever since Friday after Freedom, that these are God's people and they get to do whatever they want to do. So wait a minute. If these are God's people, what am I going to church for, trying to live a life of holiness, which that's what it does say in the Bible? What am I doing that for? If these are God's people, right? And this is the BS they want to keep throwing in our face about these people, and then telling you, and I know what you should say, hey man, listen, I ain't trying to hear no stuff, religious book stuff from the Bible. Well, just pay attention, I'll bring it in. This is the kind of stuff they're trying to give you, basically, to keep preaching this false narrative, right? Because everybody is looking at what's going on over there, and a lot of people ain't happy, and they know it. So what do? They go create these false flags over here to seem like people are attacking them over here. Now think about it. The guy who's supposed to attack those people with those cocktail bottles. Then they call them different things. That's what I'm calling it, with the little flames and all this throwing it at people. They said this guy had been planning this a year. A year. He's been planning this. Right? What y'all think about this? A year. He's been planning to do this a year. Not when October 2023, I believe that was when Israel attacked, but a year. And he didn't do anything because he wanted to wait till his daughter graduated high school. Y'all see what? Come on, man. Are we this fucking stupid? You see how they playing in our face? They're literally, and I know I shouldn't be cussing, I apologize, but they're literally playing in our face. And you mean tell me y'all gonna fall for this? This, they talk so much about this, but you know what they ain't talked about? I guarantee you. You know what they ain't said? They still ain't said nothing about the guy, Jewish, living in this country, who killed that 6-year-old Muslim boy. Now, I don't know if I could say killed on this. I guess I can. I ain't monetized. I can say what I want. Who killed that 6-year-old Muslim boy this year? Why y'all ain't talking about that? Where my conservative Christians at? That always talk all this bullshit about how we love the kids. The Democrat, they want to have sex with the kids. They want to kill all the babies, right? That's all the bullshit they talk about. But when a motherfucker do kill a kid, these motherfuckers ain't got shit to say. Not a thing. You see what I'm saying? Now, they don't have nothing to say. Let's thought I'd bring that up. We're gonna do some comparisons here on out whenever I'm doing this show about anything. I'm gonna show what they're talking about, what's important and what's not, and how they trying to dictate to you what's important. Not your morals. They don't want you to worry about your morals and what's important. They want to tell you what's important. So you need to be worried about some motherfuckers. Got me cussing today. You need to be worried about some people that's all the way in a whole nother country, just creating all kinds of problems, doing all kinds of stuff. That's who they want you worried about, and their health, when you got people in your own country struggling. People in your own country need stuff. See, they don't taught y'all. It's all, you know what I always say, history repeats itself, right? And the same way they taught the black man to hate his own kind, to hate his woman, they teaching you to love what you hate about people. You see? So when you see this kind of killing going on, taking lives in these other countries, you're neutral on it. You're like, okay, well, hey, they got a right to defend themselves. Who you don't know? And people say that all the time. They got a right to defend themselves. You sure do. But here's what you don't have a right to. If another country brings food and aid to those people because they can't get food because you have them in a war zone, and they go get food that's been dropped off from another country, and you decide to shoot them down while they're trying to get food. No, I'm sorry. You lost me on this one. No, you lost me. Right. And for those that want to claim, well, you got to let the man upstairs do what he do. Well, where he at? I'm sorry. At this point in my life, somebody who has a very huge religious background, I got to ask the question at this point now. Now, I can't say why he didn't do something or why Jesus didn't come during the slavery. I wasn't back then. I can't say that. But what I can say, with all the killing and what I see going on in this world, I got the almighty power to stop and move mountains. Okay, where you at? How long we going? What are we supposed to do? We got to keep waiting, huh? What's going on? Because I've been taught to believe in the faith, but the faith ain't believing in me because I'm seeing all this stuff going on. I'm like, oh, what's going on? You see? So how long we gonna have to wait? We got to keep seeing people die in this country, on this earth, for no reason. No reason. And if you got the power to stop it, you just gonna let it continue. Now, nobody lives forever. I'm not this. That's not what Theo's saying. But let's be honest. A lot of y'all still praying, and your prayers ain't been answered. So what you praying for? Or maybe you praying to the God that gave you. You see, when somebody give you a God, that ain't your God. Free will is where we want to be in this world. So I just had to touch on that. Somebody put in a comment. This this is the rated R show. Not by far, not by any means is this a rated R show. I don't think it's a rated R show, but I take the sentiment, Mr. Harwell. Nothing wrong with that. That's a great way of looking at it. If you look at it that way, I'm cool with that, right? So we got all those things going on. So, and the reason why I brung that up, because with everything that's going on with these ice raids, what they're doing, and everybody is upset that they're getting these people out of here, right? Or they're upset the way that they're doing it. Pick your poison. Which way you want to be upset? That's only you. Got it. Let me give you my opinion on this. Now, I am one to say, if you choose to come over here and you want to work for a better life, what am I going to say? There's ways to get into this country. Try your best to do it the right way. Really do. But I'm going to switch the gears a little bit because I know what y'all think I'm going to say, me being on a political party I'm on. So I'm going to tell you something. And I could put my hand on my heart like I'm doing the Pledge of Allegiance, which I never will do anymore as a grown man. I can truly tell you this. When I look at, they are now sending back the East Indians. Trump is starting to send them back. They're sending some of the Asians back. And it's crazy with the Asians because some of them, they may get sent back to Somalia. And that's crazy because they only speak that language. They're not even from there. Of course, we know the Hispanics, whether you or they say Latino, whether you're Cuban, Guatemala, Honduras, Mexico, they're sending you back, right? And this is what I will add to that. Fuck them. Fuck them. You know why? See, all these people they sending back, they were the same ones that would come over here. I got my pen in my hand. Same ones will come over here. This will be their flag. My pen is them waving their flag, right? They would come over here and literally, and I mean literally, that what's the first thing they do? We came over here with $2. You black people, y'all been here. You don't want to work. You don't want to take advantage of nothing. We come over here and we do better than you. Oh, you do, huh? Okay. All right. All right. Why y'all asses on them planes getting shipped out of here and the black people still here? Huh? You see? You see, these same people, it's my American flag, y'all. These same people who sit there and want to chastise us for what we're not doing in their eyes. Come over here. And now that their asses are getting kicked out of here, and not particularly them individuals, some of them are, but their group of people, where they're from, you know what they're saying? Why the black people ain't standing up? Every freaking ethnic group in this country right now, white, Asian, East Indian, African, it don't matter, right? And we can say Ukrainian, Russian, Belarus, Polish, all them too. They all in the same demographic. They all are saying, why ain't the black people standing up to help with us? I can answer that question. Why black people, quote unquote, with my American flag, my pen is my flag, y'all remember that. I can answer the question to why we ain't out there marching. I can really answer that. We tired. We tired, boss. We've been marching since black people came to this country. And there were some already here. We've been marching through slave revolts. We've been marching after slavery. We just celebrated Memorial Day. If it wasn't for black folks, y'all wouldn't have it. So don't listen to none of these old spicy ass black conservatives talk all that bullshit. We've been marching since the 1920s when they was burning down every freaking great black city that was built by black men with strong hands and black women. We've been marching. We've been marching since the 60s. We've been marching. We was marching in the 70s. Hell, the 80s we was marching. The 90s we was marching. The 2000s we was marching. Well, guess what? We tired. It's time for y'all to pick up the mantle and march. You see, y'all got so used to coming over to this country. Remember this, my flag, I'm waving my pen when I start talking about them. You got so used to coming over to this country. And the first thing you I almost dropped the MF word. The first thing y'all want to do is talk about what black people ain't doing. Yeah, that's what you do. And now y'all asses are getting shipped out of here. And you want black people to speak up? That's what you want? Because see, here's what they don't tell y'all. Y'all can look some of this stuff up. A lot of these people that come over from these different, even these Africans, they come over from these countries. they have to register as white. They get a lot of money and incentives to get going. They actually get a leg up on you. I knew a guy personally, and some of the guys that know me from YouTube heard me tell this story. Alex, name's Alex. Alex has been in this country. Oh man, I don't think it was quite a year yet. He had already purchased a tractor trailer, and he purchased a used trailer to go with his tractor. And I was at a trailer repair facility, matter of fact, right up the street, Landing Star trailer. And I'm picking up some parts. And I remember I get the call, hey, Theo, could you grab such and such? I said, all right, cool. And he's like, hey, I'll send you a copy of my credit card, back and front, back and forth, and everything. And, you know, let you pay for it on the phone. And I wish they would do that. You know, I've been there now, so they knew I was pretty good at get stuff for other people to place and terrified. As long as they had the number, they was good. So I said, okay. He sends me the picture now. Now, this guy has been in the country now about 11 months, a couple of years ago. And I'm like, damn. So I said, hey, man, your parts are going to be about $300. He says, don't worry about it. No problem. Just get it. All right, cool. I said, meet you at the yard. No problem. So I'm driving back and I'm, talking with Wesley, another guy that I knew. I said, man, how the hell Alex got a credit card? He ain't even been here a year. Not only did he had an American Express black credit card with a $25,000 limit. I said, what? Hold up. I don't even have American Express black. I'm trying to think back then, did I even have an American Express card at all? But my point was, when these people come over here, don't be fooled that they getting it out the mud, as these young boys say. Because the government's giving them more assistance than they're giving you. Because, see, they don't want them to come here and have to work and mingle with you. Because they know if they start mingling with you, you're going to rub off on them. Then you're going to show them how bad things really are. You see what I'm saying? So they get all these incentives, but they still come over here, and the first thing they want to do is talk about black people, black Americans. You want to say FBAs, you can. I don't care which one you want to say. But they like to come over here and want to, oh, y'all just wasting your time. You don't want to work. Now, I know if anybody listening to this, how many people y'all know don't want to work? Huh? I've been working a long time, and damn it, I'm tired. I'm ready to retire from work. Just not financially able to do it, but I'm tired. But you have these jackasses come over here and say, we don't want to work. Well, guess what? And what they want to do, what they so mad and upset. They're crying all on with it, Facebook, YouTube, Kick, any social media site, TikTok. They crying and mad at black people because we're not getting out there and marching for them. You get what I'm saying? Got my veins in my forehead showing. They mad because we're not marching for them. What are we gonna get up and march for? We're trying to keep what sanity we got. Like I said, we're tired. And this is not about being against anybody that wants to come over to this country and have a great life. This is not what this is about. But this is about when they come here, they target us. You see, they're sending those East Indians back. So Vivek Ramaswamy, did I say his name right? I'm not sure, but y'all know who I'm talking about. The brother who is East Indian, who was part of the Trump team in the beginning. Him and Elon separated. Now this guy, he wants to be trying to run for the governor of Ohio. I can't see Ohioans being that stupid. But let's just keep it within the frame of the context of the conversation. Now, he was one of those. Because, see, his dad is still not a U.S. citizen. And he said that. But he like all of them, when they go to run for politics, first thing is, well, the black community. What black community? What you talking about us for? Why are you bringing up what we need to do? Which, if he's right, he's right. I can't knock that. If you're right, you're right. You get what I'm saying? I'm not gonna hate on that. If you right on what we need to do, Theo ain't mad. But what Theo got a problem is when you want to use that as a dog whistle on how you gonna get your votes. So you want to go after the black people. Well, hey, brother, you up there in Ohio? Maybe, just maybe, this is just my little 2 cents. You might want to call the White House because they're getting your people out of here. And you see, it shows he don't even care about his own people, but he can tell you what black people can do or what black people need to do. Let me just say it that way, right? That's the crazy part. I want to quote nobody, And so I just thought I'd put it out there, And the way I see it is one of the things that people are not understanding, right? Is there's nothing wrong with immigration. I don't have a problem with immigration. There's a way you should come over and just get going from there. But I will say this. The problem that we don't understand about a lot of these people that are trying to come over here through immigration is the fact that our American companies and our government has went in there and overthrown governments, whether it be Guatemala, Honduras, Chile, pick your poison. And when we go in there and we put people we want in play so that these companies can prosper and make money, so we can have the products we want, but not have environmental laws. So what do you tell the people when you say, hold up, your country, meaning the USA, you're down here putting people in play who's tearing up our democracy. We don't have clean water. We need work. Well, if you're going to come here and damage our soil, then screw it. I'm coming up there to live. And what you going to tell them? I mean, now this is not 100% everybody that comes over, right? Excuse me. But this is a large percentage, So maybe we need to reap what we sow. Either we stop going down there interfering in other countries and let these people run their own government. Stop going down there fighting on the behalf of corporations. And then y'all get mad when people say, hold on, I'm tired. And you talking about marching. They marching. So that's my point on it. So when it comes to me and immigration, I'm on both sides. Some of them, they got to get them out of here. Get them out. You got me? See all those Cubans. Oh, I would vote for Donald Trump. Donald Trump, get your ass out of here. Especially when the black community in this country told y'all this was going to happen. Told y'all. Y'all didn't want to hear it. Now, y'all coming back to the table. Well, we don't understand why black people aren't getting involved and they don't care. No, we don't care. We ain't marching. And I said this before, any black person, stay your ass off these streets when they trying to do these little events. They done had it, was about 2 weeks ago. They had 2 black women decide to help these people out and get out there, and their asses got arrested. Yeah, you think about that. So I said it before. Don't get involved. It ain't got nothing to do with you. We've been marching. I don't know about you, but I'm tired. Let's sit down and take a break this time, y'all, and see how things go out. You see? Oh, Jesus Christ. I had a brain fog. Do y'all know that those South Afrikaners, because they're white. I got to say it the right way. Somebody been done left a comment saying I'm being racist by calling them South Africans, not Afrikaners. Do y'all know that in the last 12 days since they've been here, one of the guys who they moved him to West Virginia, the state that I love. I love me some West Virginia, especially West Virginia. And they moved this guy there, him and his wife. Y'all know this guy took his wife's life. They had been having domestic abuse issues before they got here. And then when they got here, he took his life, took her life. I thought Trump. Now wait a minute now. Hold up. Got me banging on the table. Trump said he bringing the best of these South Africans. He's bringing the best, and he brought these people over here, and already they done took somebody's life. And you notice how ain't nobody said nothing about it on the news. Not a word. Didn't say a word. Nobody said a damn thing about this. Now these supposed to be good people. Good people. Because all these people who talked about immigration, they're bringing all these people in. They ain't saying nothing about this. You know? Now, I'm going to look into it. Stories out of West Virginia. Because I want to see how they're going to charge this guy. Or are they just going to send him back to his country? Or is he going to go to jail here? You know, I really want to see which way this is going to go. I truly do. But yeah. Got over here and ain't even been here a month. And already done took somebody's life. You know. So this is what happens. Just one of those ordeals. And you know, like I said, I didn't spend time last couple of days trying to put any videos together. I guess I should. I could have. But with the weather being the way it is, I kind of want to enjoy the weather. Enjoy myself. So I didn't get a chance to do it last week. Didn't get to go live. If anybody know anything about a kid, and I had one of my daughter's friends, I'm watching the baby, and I had a baby about 2-3 days, and ain't nothing worse than a sick baby. And that baby wasn't really sick, but it had the sniffles. And I'm gonna tell you something. I caught them sniffles. That sniffles almost took me out of here. You know, from Tuesday night to I would say Saturday morning, even going into Sunday, I wasn't 100%. You know, so I had to take a little time off. You know, if anybody know, if you ever had kids, if anybody's had kids, they know ain't nothing worse than a little sick baby. I mean, that's like a nuclear bomb right there. That'll take you out of here. I always say you want to stop the war, stop any war, just drop a bunch of sick babies right out there. They'll stop it. Because it's something about their immune system is totally different. For something so small, they can take you out of here. You see? So I had to bring that up for a minute. Just had me thinking about it. But yeah, so here we go. You brung these guys over, these people over, these Afrikaners, and they already committing murders, committing crime already. Where are all my conservatives on this? Where y'all at? Why I'm not hearing that from you? You know, where you at when a lot of y'all signed these laws, this big, beautiful bill? You signed it into play and not understanding that you've taken the rights of states for 10 years to regulate something. I thought y'all were the people about states' rights. Isn't that what didn't they teach us that's what the let's say, what was that war? Let me think. Didn't they teach us that's what Civil War was about? State rights? You see how history repeats itself? We still dealing with the same dumb BS. Right? So I got about 15 minutes. And when I say history repeats itself, I ain't lying. And I really need a lot longer, but I'm going to shorten this up. A couple things I do want to do today. let me say this: all this CRT stuff. I know people like, Theo, what the hell you talking about CRT? Ain't nobody talking about no CRT right now. Yeah, but it's a reason behind why I'm about to bring it up. This it's my show. I can talk about what I want to talk about, whether somebody watching or not. When I say history repeats itself, you know, for the longest time, mostly white people. It's nothing against white people, just to be factual. Everybody know me. I don't have a problem with nobody. I got friends who are white and some that are black, and I've got white friends I would trust more than my black friends, and I got black friends I would trust more than some of my white friends, and some of them I wouldn't even throw none of them if I had to, black or white. So don't get it twisted. But let me say this: they're trying to change the history again for kids on what they learn, right? And I always say history repeats itself. I didn't come up with the phrase, but I will use it. And right now, in the last 2 years, we've had, or 3 or 4, we've had what's called Moms of Liberty. I know some of y'all have heard of these women. Moms of Liberty. That's the group. And they're the ones who ran this whole CRT campaign over 3 years ago when Biden was in office. And all the conservative people, especially the poor whites and the poor blacks, they were eating this shit up. Oh, we don't want no CRT, no critical race theory, right? So that's how they paraphrase it that way. And they were so upset. Oh man, so they're changing laws and all this stuff. Did y'all know that everything in your history books is decided from a company that's in Texas? Yeah, I see why these kids all messed up. We get history chosen from some MFs from Texas, and they gonna tell us about history. Oh my goodness! So let me get back to what I want to say, and I'm sidetracked there for a minute. So when you look at what they're doing, right, and you say, okay, well, they don't want the kids to learn about their grandmamas. It's a little more than that. A little more than that, because see, when you do damage, it's generational. And they're trying to do generational damage, right? Because we all can see a white guy, generally heavy beard, overweight, and there'd be one black guy with him. And they both waving the Confederate flag, talking about it's about states' rights. It wasn't about slavery. Now, I'm not saying you don't have a right to wave American flag, the Confederate flag. We're in America, you do. I personally think it needs to be in the museum. Shouldn't be waving but one flag in this country. That's the one I got in the background. So when you look at that, you say, well, Theo, I don't get it. What's the history repeating itself? Well, see, these are the same people who ran the same playbook that the Daughters of Confederacy ran, where they did all this lies to put what they wanted to be taught in high school. That gave us what I was taught in high school. You see? So they wrote a version of the history that they wanted people to find out. It's why it's a great book called The Lost Ones. I think I've told before that people got to research this stuff. And everything they did back then with curriculum, of course, education, they're doing now. You see? And people will say, well, it was the Democrat back then, yeah, but now it's the Republicans. And once again, they're succeeding, literally, and I mean literally. They're literally succeeding at basically rewriting history again. And that's why I said, hey, history repeats itself at the end of the day. That's just the way it works. Now, if you know, you know. But when you don't know, you don't know. They've already discovered some book in Texas. I remember what school, and it called the African slaves immigrants. You see, because they do not want people to know how bad America really treated people. Because we can't keep running around telling everybody else what to do, and we done wrong. We've never been apologetic for anything. You see what I'm saying? So that's what's going on. Just thought I'd put that out there, and there's more to it. I can go on a little deeper, and I get it. That's not for everybody, but I just thought I'd put it out there, maybe put some food for thought in your brain if you have one, you know, and we can go from there. But if you have one, I know everybody got a brain. I just don't have to agree with theirs, and they don't have to agree with mine. That's the good part about it. So, with that, there was. Do I want to talk about this now or wait? Because I want to have a lot of hot sauce on this one. Um, we don't have that much time left anyway, and everything. Yeah, no, I think I hold back. I hold back and wait till I bring some more sauce with it before I start doing it. Oh, let me see what Ghost put in because we're getting towards the end, and when we do, I'll start playing with the comments. Right? Let's see. What did he have up here? They're destroying a lot of history. They don't want people to know the truth about themselves. Yes, that is true, Ghost, and that's what um, these moms of liberties are doing, and daughters of Confederacy. And see, here's the thing: it's not that they don't want to know the truth about themselves. You know, they don't want the truth to be known about us. That's where the problem is. See, if they ever find out the truth about us, that's when all hell breaks loose, right? So they know about themselves. They know how nasty they've been. You know, they know they used to eat black people. That's part of history, baby. Now I know y'all don't like that kind of talk. If you don't like it, don't listen. I ain't mad at you, but that's part of history. I challenge anybody, go get the book, The Delectable Negro. You'll find out how you really taste. And from what I heard, we don't need a lot of seasoning. I'm just telling you like it is. What it say in the book, we was flavorful when they ate us. You know, you see, so it's there. You get what I'm saying? So it's not that they don't really care about themselves. They just don't want us knowing the truth, right? And the best way to keep us not knowing the truth is to keep us blinded. Is to keep us going at each other. Now we don't have to agree with each other, and we just not. But we still need to have a common goal. You know, um, we shouldn't fight for 30 years as a unit, as a group of people, on how to get out of the barrel. At some point in time, we have to say, let's try his idea and see if we can pull everybody up out of this barrel. You get me? So we got to learn to get on code at the end of the day, right? That's what we got to do. We got to learn to get on code, you know. And like I said, there was something specific I wanted to chop it up about, but I'm not going to do it because I want to make sure I got some more information on it. But let me say this, and this is for all my people who are in the trucking industry, right? Transportation. And, we got to really evaluate uh, if you're running a business, you know, how to run this business smoothly. Because we're looking at so many people losing their jobs. And we know if a lot of people start losing their jobs, we've already had up to 1 million people. Think about this: 1 million people, a little over, been well over 1 million people, have lost their job since Trump, Don DeCon, has taken office. Over 700,000 just government workers. Yeah, we're not talking about all the private sector. So I'm being generous in cutting that number back. But over 1 million people have lost their jobs. And we're sitting up here, people anyway, are sitting up here trying to show this man and his achievements in a good light, right? And that's why I brought up the trucking industry. Because we know with all these tariffs he's got going on, it's hurting those in trucking. Costs are going up, tires or, parts. But the rates aren't going up for the owners, or the pay's not going up for the company drivers. So if you voted for Trump, y'all see the smirk coming. If you voted for him, let me get my pen is my flag. Remember that when I wave this pen is my flag. So if you voted for him and you starting to lose stuff, oh man, I guess you found out. I guess so. But look, I'm gonna end it with that. Hopefully it gets better for everybody. We're gonna have this clown for another 3.5 years. If God blesses him with that longevity in life, we will have this clown for another 3.5 years. And hey, Godspeed. Hopefully it's gonna work out for us, man. I don't know with this clown. They getting ready to take some rights away. So that's something I want to talk about. But I'm gonna wait another show to do that, because I want to do that with some video, sniffling and everything. And other than that, hey, those came in: Ghost Town, Top Rope, T Hill, Harpo, DB. I think I seen you in the beginning. Hey man, I appreciate everybody coming in. We're gonna try to do it again, like always. Can't guarantee it, but I'll try it. You know what I mean? And like I always say, everybody stay prayed up and strapped up.
Where will you be, or where do you want to be when America falls?
Well, I'm gonna tell you this.
No, don't tell me. Listen. I'm gonna tell you like I told the other callers. I didn't interrupt you because I don't want to get into the. I asked you a simple question. Where do you want to be when America falls? Where do you?
America.
Wait a minute, Sammy.
Where I'm at. On my knees praying to Lord.
So that's where you want to be. Well, let me tell you what Fannie Lou Hamer said about being on your knees while you're watching America fall.
You can pray until you faint, but if you don't get up and try to do something, God is not going to put it in your lap. And there's no need of running and no need of saying, honey, I'm not going to get in the mess. Because if you were born in America with a black face, you're born in the mess.
Goodbye, Sammy.